What's going on, guys? The Barber Phil here, back again with another haircut tutorial. And today's tutorial is a high taper with a crispy lineup. This is somebody that I've done on the channel before, but it's been quite a while. I wanted to bring this back to you guys. I've got new clippers that I'm using. Obviously, this is the first cut that we're doing in the new shop, so make sure you let me know what you guys think about the lighting and the angles and the clarity of the video. So make sure you let me know in that comment section. Alright guys, so we're going to kick this cut off by taking a zero guard using the Andis purple guards, and I have this on the Ergo. It's all the way closed, and I'm basically just trying to go with the grain right at the top of the fade there where it connects to the length up top. And the reason I'm doing that is if I can get it lightened up enough now, whenever I start fading up to where the clipper is going, the blade is going to be going up towards the length up top, it will eliminate the risk of taking that blade up too high and clipping some of those curls from up top. So this is just a little safe technique to go ahead and soften that up so that you can fade up into what you just did there and not risk cutting into the curls. Now, I did have a request in the comment section to slow down some of the clips, so that's what I'm going to try to do a little bit in this video. Not the whole video, but some of the clips will be slowed down. What I did there was took the cordless detailer and I tapped in my bald section, which is going to be the shape of this taper, and that went from the bottom of the vertical bar on his right there over to the round of his ear on the left. Now I'm going to follow that same shape up with an open Ergo, and as you guys can tell, I did arch it a little bit. I left it a little bit darker right above his ear. I didn't take that section as high up. This is about a ½ inch or so section, so it's a little bit more condensed. And then what I'm going to start to do is slowly close that lever up, and as I close the lever, I'll start to work my way down until I get it all the way closed, and I'll eventually just switch to using the corners of the blade and just pinpoint that bottom line that was left from the detailers. So this ends up actually being kind of a throwaway clip here. I took a 1 guard and I went back up against that growth just to lighten it up, like I said. But what ends up happening a lot of times, if I don't eventually work at this a little bit more, is a 1 guard still leaves kind of a darker shade right along that connection between the short hair and the long hair up top. So I will eventually come back in and lighten that up. That's why I had it sped up so much, because it's not really a step that you have to take. It was a step that I took at first, and then I learned from it, and we eventually adjusted and worked it out. So what I've got here, this is the half guard in that Andis purple guard set, and I'm just starting with the lever halfway open. You know how it goes, half guard, halfway open, and we're just kind of flicking up into that 1 guard that we just went up against the growth of the hair with, and we're just using the corners of our blade, trying to soften that little bit of a connection up there. Like I said, this is a with this taper being a little bit more condensed, there's not as much, full sections that you have to do. A lot of it's just going to be finesse work. So right there, I just took off the guard, even though I didn't even have it on very long, and I'm going back to using the corners and just kind of softening up that blend. Make sure you're always taking a brush, especially on black hair or curly hair in general. You're always wanting to brush or comb that hair back down into place. And then once we've got that taper situated, we can come in, go ahead and use the FXs, hold his ear down, and put a nice crisp line around his ear and then down his back neckline. On a taper like this, especially these high tapers, this line up around his ear is pretty crucial. This can really make the gradients of the fade pop, so make sure that you pay close attention to the lineups here, and you do your absolute best on those. So what I'm using here is a closed zero as a safety net, just to make sure that we don't clip any of that hair up top. And then we're going to follow that up by using a closed one guard up against the growth of the hair. That will blend up into this zero guard that I've gone down again with the growth. Hope that makes sense. So it's a zero closed down with the growth of the hair, and then a one guard closed up against that growth that will blend into that zero guard. Hope that makes sense. Now, just like on the sides, we're going to come in, use the detailers, tap in our bald line. I do like to make the tapers in the back, usually a semi-arch there, so that the sharp lines down the neckline, they are more pronounced, I guess, if you will. Now I'm going to take the detailers and immediately kind of flick at that line so that my closed master blade will be able to take this bottom line out, and we won't really have to come back in with the trimmers and really mess with those. Here is an open section, and I did actually extend this up a little bit. This is probably a full 1-inch open section. And then what we'll do, like usual, is we will close that lever up halfway, go about halfway to 3/4 of the way through this open section. And then once you've closed that lever all the way up, you should just be focusing on that very bottom line that we set in with those detailers, and it should come right out. So that's what I'm pointing at there. I was showing you that line that's left there in the middle, the lighter hair up into the darker hair. That's the line that is the open section up into that closed one guard. Now what I pointed to in the middle was about where I'm going to try to go up to with that half open lever, and then right there I was pointing at that bottom line, and we're going to hit that with that closed lever, and you guys can see that line is pretty much immediately disappearing. And then I'm pointing out right there that basically what I'm trying to do is kind of flick up through there, and I'm not even really using the full width of the blade. We're literally just using the last 3 or 4 teeth on both sides of that clipper, and that's what's going to really help you take out that bottom line without pushing your fade up. So then once you've gotten that section kind of initially faded out, you can go back in and detail it out if you'd like. And then here, as always guys, we're going to use that half open half guard to take out that open section line, and it's going to go right into that closed one that we did pretty seamlessly. So we're right back to it on the left side with that closed zero guard, going down with the growth of the hair, holding that hair up out of the way. We're really just trying to catch any flyaways that may be sticking up. And this is just, like I said, a safety net so that you can come back in once you go up against the growth of the hair, and it will allow you to not worry so much about getting too high up into this and potentially cutting any of those curls off top. So here we are following up that closed zero guard with the closed one guard. And then this was what we will eventually kind of pretty much fade up into. So same thing on this left side, bottom of the vertical bar on the left, round of the ear on his right for the shape. Go ahead and flick out that initial line so that we don't have to worry about coming in later. You go in, open section. Oh, actually I did come back in right here, took that one guard, closed, and just kind of lightened up around his ears. I do still like to have his haircut a little bit darker around the ears, and then obviously the taper being higher and lighter on the front there, and then in the back will make that round about his ear really, it'll make that gradients in the fade really pop. So this is going to stay a closed one guard around his ear, and then obviously once we get that fade going, it'll really make that lighter in the back and the lighter on the side in the taper area. It'll really make those stand out. So here we are, just using a lot of the corners of our blade until we get to a nice flat spot to where we can use the full width. Always making sure that you're folding that ear down, and then if you need to, continue to brush through there or comb through there and make sure that you don't have any hair that will stick over that line. and cause that line to not be as sharp as it can be. So as always guys, consistency is key. Whatever you do to one side, you should do to the other side. So we're going to do the open section, then half open, and then all the way closed, hits that bottom detailer line and buffs that out pretty easy. Now we're coming in with the half open, half guard, and we're flicking up into that one guard that we started with. From there, what this particular client likes is for his front hairline to be taken down some. He doesn't like it to be as thick or as dark. Once we put a crispy line up on it, it makes a lot more sense. So that's what we did here. We took the half open, half guard, and we knocked it down. Now, if I had like a very open clipper, like a fast feed, which I'm working on getting another Ergo, so stay tuned. And it may have an X in front of it, it may not. One of those Ergos that I have, because I'll have 3, one will be with the fast feed and it'll be a wide open fast feed blade. That's probably what I would do in an area like that, is take that down with a no guard with the lever all the way open, so pretty much like a 1 guard, and it would be nice and clean. And then what I noticed here guys, if you're looking at the picture right now, on the left side here, which is his right, I noticed that it was a little bit darker in that vertical bar area, so I do come back here in a little bit and clean that up. But right now I've got the FXs in hand. I spritzed a little bit of hairspray, let that set for a second, and then we're going to start in the middle, work our way out to one side, do the vertical bar, and then work our way from the middle over towards the other side and match that up so that everything is symmetrical. And then we can come in, a little bit of razor work, clean up the fade, call it good. Alright, so I got a question guys. I don't know if you guys can notice what I'm doing there, but I'm almost like tapping the line and then kind of almost slightly dragging it to the right. I'd like to know in the comment section if you guys do that at all, or if you just simply tap it and pull out, tap it and then pull out, or if you tap the line and then you drag it over a little bit. It's always been my thing, is to, there's certain times that I will, if there's only a few hairs that I want to hit, but if I'm actually working at a line, I almost like to either tap and pull down or tap and slide off to the right. Those are my tendencies, and I'm curious if anybody else has anything similar like that they do. Let me know in the comment section. So as always guys, I like to take a second in my videos. Thank you guys for the growth of the channel. You guys are killing it. I feel like we just hit 2K and we're already at 2,600 plus. You guys are crushing it. Thank you so much. If you haven't watched the half attack video, go back and watch it. Let me know in the comment section if you guys would like to see me do another video designated to strictly the half attack system. But probably on a better model. Obviously, that's the one thing about that video that I wish I could go back and do different, would be to have done that video on a better canvas. That's on me. So let me know in the comment section guys as well on that, if you guys would like to see another half attack video on another canvas, maybe even a different ethnicity, not so much straight hair, maybe on curly hair. Let me know. But right now guys, after we've got that lineup kind of straightened away, I'm taking the Barber pencil here. This is like the tan version because he is a little more he's a little lighter skin, so this should show up very nice. We're going to outline that hairline, take the razor, and we're going to bump it right up into that, and it's just going to kind of make that line pop a little bit more. We're going to stretch the skin, hold that razor at a 45-degree angle, and bring that razor back to the line, making sure that we get it as crispy as we can. So in the new shop, what we did different was we took our mirrors and we actually laid them down sideways. We have a what is it, a 3x4 length mirror, 3 foot by 4 foot mirror. We used to have them standing up tall. Now we actually have them sideways, and so my mirror, with it being farther off to my right than I'm used to, I was actually able to put the mount farther onto the right, which gives me an angle that I couldn't get before. And so I wasn't able to actually get many clips like this where I got them laid back. So I'm very happy that I was able to do that. I absolutely love these angles of them laying down. I think it just makes the fade look so much different than it does, for whatever reason, with them just sitting up normal in the chair. And so what we're doing here obviously is we're just working on that front hairline, stretching that skin, holding the razor at a 45-degree angle, and bringing it back to that line, making sure, like I said, you're kind of bringing back in that pencil that you put through there, which is going to make the hairline pop even more. Alright, that's the end of the tutorial, guys, in the new shop, the first one in there. Let me know what you guys thought about it. If you liked the lighting, if the angles were any different, if you liked the angles better, just make sure you let me know in that comment section so that I can do my best to help you guys out. Like always, guys, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't. Please consider subscribing if you're new, or if you are watching these videos and you're not subscribed. Subscribe. If you don't like the content after a few weeks, come back, unsubscribe. That's cool, but I think you will enjoy it. 2 videos a week, Wednesday and Sunday, is what I'm continuing to do. So make sure you guys do that. Turn on that notification bell, that way you never miss another video. Anyways, guys, I'm the Barber Phil. I appreciate y'all. We'll get some more clips of the new shop as it gets more completed. Y'all stick around, stay tuned. Appreciate y'all.